If you're like us, we love trying new recipes, and that's what I'm here for. We try the recipes, we make sure they're good, we share them with you so that you have something yummy to feed your family. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. We're gonna change things up and start out with Subbie Supper this week. If you are new here, Subbie Supper just stands for Subscriber Supper, meaning one of my subscribers has sent in one of their family favorite recipes, and we're gonna give it a try. There is a gnat, and it is driving me nuts, and it keeps going right in front. It is gnat season. Okay. This week, the Subbie Supper, I'm guessing, was inspired by one of my most recent videos, which was a Tater Tot Casserole video. I shared, I think, 4 different Tater Tot Casseroles that we've made in the past. And so I'm guessing he saw that and said, oh, she hasn't tried this one, so he sent us this. This is a taco Tater Tot Casserole. It's really simple. It has really flavorful ingredients. It comes from Jay. Jay is in California. He said that he's been following us for about a year and a half. He loves our relationship, and he said that he would like to see a little tutorial on how to grow a small garden, because we do have a small garden this year. I don't know that we're ready to give a tutorial on that yet, Jay. We're still trying to figure it out ourselves, but maybe next year. So thank you, Jay, for watching, and thank you for sending in this recipe. We're excited to give it a try. Let's get started. Let's get started by preheating the oven to 400. Okay, I'm gonna put this large skillet and heat it to about medium-high heat. I've got 1 pound of ground beef. Let's add that here. Is that enough sizzle for you? Oh, yeah. He said, I wanna hear it sizzle. I've also got 1 onion that we already diced up. We're gonna add that in. Okay, it is still browning, but I'm gonna go ahead and add in a couple of cloves of minced garlic. Let that finish browning. And then if you need to drain it, you can. This is nice and brown. It's got a little bit of fat in there, but I'm not too worried about it. We're gonna leave it be. Let's add in, you're gonna add in a pack of taco seasoning. So if you make your own, 2 to 3 tablespoons. I'm going with more like 3. We're also gonna add in a ½ cup of water. Now here comes the really tasty ingredients. I've got some enchilada sauce over here. This is red enchilada sauce. You need a full cup, but we're gonna pour in about 2/3 of that right now. Mine had been frozen before, so it still has a little bit of ice in it. I had a large can that I used a couple of weeks ago, and we didn't need the whole thing, so I just froze it in a Ziploc bag, and we just thawed it out for this. I've got some frozen corn here, about 1.5 cups. We're gonna add that in, so that's gonna cool it down. We're gonna let this all come back up to temperature. We're also gonna add in a can of black beans that I drained and rinsed. And then you wanna do about 1.5 cups of diced bell pepper. But what we did is we did part of a red bell pepper, part of a yellow one, and then we did jalapeno.
About 4 jalapenos, and I made sure that we took out all of the membrane and the seeds, yes, so that we don't retain all of that heat.
Yeah, we don't want it to be too hot. But you could do green bell pepper, which is what the directions said to do. But we just wanted to add a little extra heat because that's what we like. So let's add that in, and we're just gonna let this thicken for about 5 minutes. Oh man, look how pretty that is. The colors are great. So we've got a 9 by 13 pan. I'm just gonna spray it with a little nonstick spray, a little olive oil spray, and then Steven is gonna help me out. My wrist is pretty weak. I'm gonna let him bring that over here and dump it in. So we're dumping in the beef mixture. Okay, so now that we've got the meat mixture in there, we're gonna take our cheese. You need about 1.5 cups for this portion. You need 3 cups total. Now the recipe just calls for cheddar cheese, but I'm doing half pepper jack and half cheddar. So let's put half of that cheese on now. That cheese is wanting to clump together. It's okay, it'll be a good cheesy bite. Pepper jack cheese is not the best to shred because you see it clumps together really easily. It does not want to come apart. And at the grocery store, I could not find a container smaller than this one. This is 32 ounces. We need half of these for this recipe. Now, he said to arrange it neatly on top. I've never been really known to do that. And the fact that you're not even gonna see it because we are gonna cover it later makes me not want to do it neatly. We're gonna do it the Mandy way. You can neatly arrange yours if you would like. These are still frozen, by the way. That's pretty good. We're gonna call it a day. It is gonna go in the oven just like this for 30 minutes at 400. And then at the end, the last 10 minutes, we're gonna add some more goodness on top. Okay, it's about to come out of the oven, but before it does, I'm gonna take the rest of my enchilada sauce, so about 1/3 cup. I have about 1/2 cup because we had a little extra enchilada sauce. But you also wanna take about 1/4 cup of salsa and mix that together. And this is gonna get poured over the tater tots as well as the remainder of the cheese. And it's gonna go back in for 10 more minutes. What you think?
I think this is going to be delicious.
I know. In the words of young Cole, this is going to taste good.
Right. Wow.
Okay, so you've got a little bit of a cold, but you can taste that?
I can still taste it. I mean, taco seasonings, definitely get the enchilada sauce in there.
Yeah.
So some good flavor in that.
I didn't give you any cheese, did I? Okay, I'm sorry. We'll get some cheese in a minute. Okay. It's almost like a little burrito bowl.
It is like a burrito bowl,
but with tater tots. We put a little bit of this hot sauce on there too, but
oh man,
this is so good. I love how the tater tots kind of break up and they kind of mash in there with it. It really is like a burrito bowl. I mean, especially with the toppings that we put on top, it's very much like a burrito bowl.
I love it.
It is so tasty. Cole loves it too, so this is a winner. They haven't seen your thumb in a long time. Okay. It's a winner. So y'all gotta try this one. Daddy went and got you some cheese. She was silent meowing just a second ago, y'all. She found her voice as soon as the cheese came out. You ready? Ow, gosh.
Take your finger off.
We made the people happy and made the cat happy. I'm just hopping in here really quickly to thank Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video. We're gonna go on a little field trip. So if you've never heard of Brooklinen, they are a luxury sheet company and they create really nice and elevated products for your home, not just sheets. Let me show you. My favorite are their towels. Y'all, if you want a spa-like experience at home with your towels, these are the ones you need. Brooklinen was founded on the philosophy that people deserve simple, beautiful home essentials at a fair price. But I feel like these super plush towels are anything but simple. Y'all, I have never had a towel that I've liked better. We've had them for months and months. They have gone through many cycles in the washer and dryer, and they still are just as fluffy as when we first got them. So I definitely recommend that you just go check them out. You can just go to their website. I've got it linked below. And if you use the code mandyinthemaking, you're gonna save $20 off of an order over $100. They have lots of different colors and patterns. You can mix and match with your move-in bundle. Be sure to check out their move-in bundle, even if you're not moving into a new house, because when you bundle everything together, it saves you 15%, plus you're gonna use my code to get more off. They are made from 100% Turkish cotton, and they are extra thick for that spa-like feel. So just check that link below, use the code mandyinthemaking for $20 off of your order of 100 or more, and enjoy your brand new bath towels that make you feel like you're at the spa. Let's go back to the kitchen and keep cooking. Y'all, I'm crossing my fingers. I'm getting a phone call. Hold on, please. Hold. We're back. My phone was buzzing, or my wrist was buzzing. I am crossing my fingers that Steven is gonna be able to taste tonight's dinner. So I had a cold last week and he now has it, and he's very stuffy today. And on my stuffiest days, I really couldn't taste much. You know how that goes. So tonight we're making lemon chicken gnocchi, and this is a 30-minute meal, very quick and easy. So let's get started, and hopefully Steven's gonna be able to taste it. So I've got this butcher box chicken here. I'm pretty sure there are 2 breasts in here. Sometimes it's just one really large breast inside of here. It's about a pound of chicken in each little thing. So yeah, this is 2. What we're gonna do is cut these in half lengthwise so that they cut evenly. They cook evenly. If you have lemon pepper seasoning, you're gonna use that. I don't have that. So I'm just gonna zest some lemon and add some pepper and a little bit of salt and maybe a little garlic powder. We're just gonna wing it, okay? Let's add just a little bit of salt to each side, some cracked black pepper, and some lemon zest. We're gonna add some lemon juice to the recipe as well, but without this lemon zest, it may not be too lemony. And let's flip them, wash our hands again, and do the same thing to the other side. Over here to our large skillet, let's heat this to medium high. And while that's heating up, let's add a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon or so, as well as a tablespoon of butter. We're just gonna let that melt and heat up before we add our chicken. I'm already forgetting stuff. I mean, would it be Mandy in the making if we didn't forget stuff? Let's add just a little bit of garlic powder to our chicken too. I'll season the other side once it's in the skillet. So we just wanna cook this chicken all the way through on both sides. This should take 6 to 10 minutes, just depending. I've got a couple of pieces that are a little bit thinner and then a couple of pieces that are thicker. You just want to cook it all the way through before we remove it and put it on a plate. Okay, I'm still letting this one go because it was a little bit thicker on the end. These 3 are done, so they're over here resting. You can tent this with aluminum foil if you want to, but let me let this finish and then we'll move on. So I got distracted while I was cooking and I let some of it get just a little too brown. So I did wipe this up with paper towel and I added some fresh olive oil in there, and I've turned my heat down to medium. So now we're just gonna add just a couple of teaspoons of minced garlic. We're just gonna let this cook for about 30 seconds before we move on. I just wanna get that oil really fragrant with the garlic, but I don't want it to burn. Okay, I'm gonna be adding in a ½ cup of chicken bone broth. You can just use regular chicken broth. This is just what I had on hand. And then you also need a tablespoon of lemon juice. So I've got a half a lemon that I'm gonna squeeze in here. And then at this point, if you didn't have a ton of dark stuff on the bottom of yours and you just left it, this is where you scrape it up. So any of that extra stuff that's on the bottom, just scrape that up. Let's add in 1 cup of heavy cream, and we're gonna add in 1 pound of uncooked gnocchi. So get that gnocchi down in there in a single layer. And then I'm gonna turn the heat back up just a little bit to about medium high. It says you wanna make sure that your gnocchi is submerged in the liquid. Mine is mostly submerged, but I might have to add just a little more bone broth. Let's do that. And we're gonna let this come up to a simmer and let it simmer for 5 to 7 minutes until our gnocchi is done. I'm gonna come in and stir it every couple of minutes, but this already smells so good. This is just hanging out over here. I just need you to know that I am not to be trusted with Parmesan cheese. I think it is my favorite cheese to just snack on, to get little bites of. My store oddly was out of a block of Parmesan cheese, so I bought this pre-shredded. It was so good. Do you do that too? I've got some broccoli going in there, but this is pretty much done. So the sauce definitely thickens up. That starch from the potato gnocchi thickens it up, which is good. If it gets too thick, you can always add more chicken broth. I had already done that, so I think mine's the perfect consistency. So now, I'm just gonna turn off the heat and we're gonna remove it from the heat as well. Okay, to our potato gnocchi and cream sauce, let's add about a ½ cup of shredded Parmesan cheese or grated Parmesan cheese. Let's stir that. Get that to start melting, and we're gonna add in some baby spinach. I went through and removed most of the big stems because that's what I do. You need about 2 cups of this spinach, and it's just gonna wilt down. It's not gonna take long at all. So just toss that in there. Oh my goodness, the cheesiness. I'm gonna, even though I turned this eye off over here, I'm gonna move this back over here just for the heat and let this wilt down. So it had thickened up a little bit too much. I added a little more of the bone broth.
Try to sneak it in there without telling nobody.
Listen to you, you sound so nasally.
I am nasally.
Bless your little heart. Let's put our chicken back in here. We're just gonna kind of nestle it down in there. Get it all in that good yumminess. There we go.
I think that's gonna be good.
Well, you ain't gonna be able to taste it.
That is very true.
Okay, you ready to eat?
We gotta wait.
We got 18 seconds until our broccoli finished steams. Look, it looks like it's gonna pop.
That'd be good if we could get that on film.
No.
Tables are turned.
Pressure is on. I'm sitting in the commentator spot. I feel special.
You are special.
We're about to see how special this description is. Let's see.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Okay, I got some gnocchi, I got some chicken. I got it all. We ready?
I'm gonna do the way you do to me. I'm gonna get right up in there.
Wait, there's something on the camera. Okay, it's better now.
All right.
Okay, so the chicken is cooked perfectly. Seasoned perfectly. You can definitely get the lemon flavor, and I love the gnocchi with this because it's so soft.
Like a little gummy texture, maybe?
I don't know if it would be gummy.
No.
No, it's just
Not
soft.
too gummy.
He's taking a bite, y'all. That's why. Can you taste it?
I got some of that.
You can taste the lemon probably a little bit.
It's like lemon garlicky flavor. A little buttery action in there. It's really good. Yeah, that's very good flavor. It's just very Italian.
Y'all, why am I even sitting over here? He's over there. He is shoving food in his mouth. That's why the camera is moving. Because as he leans down to get food, he moves the camera with him.
It is good.
He couldn't wait. I sit over there patiently waiting on him all the time. Y'all, he is just, show your plate. Show what you're doing. He just cutting on into it.
We don't need that knife. Just cut right in there. Get some of this gnocchi. It kind of looks like a garlic clove, that gnocchi.
It does. You want to bring that back over here?
Oh.
This is very good, very simple. Tastes like something you would get at a restaurant. If you were if you're making dinner for some, he's not paying attention, y'all. He's looking at his food. If you're making dinner for someone and you want to impress them, this is one of those meals. You should give it a try. Okay, you may eat. You can hit the record button, turn it off.
Okay.
I just wanted y'all to see him. He's right there.
I'm not feeling too good.
Oh, not bad. He had chicken noodle soup for lunch, but
Man, this stuff right here is probably going to be a new fave.
I can't believe you could taste it that much.
It is so good. Well, I mean, the flavors are coming through. It's like, look, I don't care how much snot you got up in there.
Good
I'm
table
going to make
talk.
you love me.
Good table talk.
I love this. This is really good.
Good.
Truthfully, I didn't even look in the mirror before I started this. I got a massage this morning and it was wonderful, but because of that, I look a mess. So I'll just step back and tell y'all what we're having for dinner tonight. It is hot as blue blazes outside, so I am gonna cook in the crock pot. We are having sweet and sour kielbasa and veggies in the crock pot. I'm gonna serve it with some rice, or serve it kind of over some rice this evening. It only has to cook on low for about 4 hours. It is currently 1:45 in the afternoon. So I'm gonna get this started and it'll be ready for dinner time tonight. Okay, you need to slice up an onion. So I have a small onion that I sliced here. We're also gonna slice up this bell pepper, and then what is left of this red one and this yellow one. I used some of that the other day. Okay, before I slice up my kielbasa, I'm gonna throw these veggies into the bottom of this crock pot. I'm using somewhat of a small crock pot today. I mean, it's not small, I think it's a 4-quart maybe, but we don't need a huge one. It'll be fine. Now let's slice up the kielbasa. Let's add that in. Now we're gonna add in a can of pineapple tidbits along with the juice. This is a 20-ounce can. It does not specify in the directions, but this is pretty standard, so I think this is right. And then it says to use 1.5 cups of barbecue sauce. I've got some of this one left, and I've got some of this one left. I think that's enough. If not, I will substitute with a little bit of chili sauce. Okay, I don't know if you can tell, not really, but this is a cup. So I have a bottle of this chili sauce on hand. I'm just gonna do 1/2 cup of it. Between the other two, I had a cup, so we're just winging it today. Let's pour this over. I'm gonna mix this around before we add a little bit of brown sugar. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I think I'm just gonna do 1/4 cup because I feel like the pineapple has a good bit of sweetness to it. And then the 2 of the barbecue sauces that I used also have some sweetness to them. So I'm just going with 1/4 cup. This is personal preference here. And again, I'm gonna stir that up. And we're just gonna put this on low for 4 hours. So simple. I'm gonna serve this with some rice and dinner will be ready without having to heat up the kitchen. So even though it says low for 8 hours, obviously I know at around 6 o'clock or so, dinner is gonna be ready. Oh man. Oh, of course it fogged y'all up. Sorry. So this guy is still a little sick.
A little bit.
But he just went over to his mom's house in this heat. Him and Cole went and mowed her grass. He is exhausted. So I had dinner waiting on them when they got home.
Wow, that's good.
Can you taste it?
Yes.
I'm so glad.
It's like a very sweet and savory little spice in there.
So it's sweet and sour kielbasa.
Sweet, sour, little smokiness with the kielbasa.
Yeah.
Lots of flavor.
I'm so glad.
I'm not a huge pineapple fan, but this is
you aren't.
really good.
Yeah, I was a little nervous about that.
Oh yeah.
But it's good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Little girl. Y'all,
First of all, Cat, stop, baby. Second of all, this is so yummy. I love the sweet savoriness of this. I love the meatiness, of course, of the kielbasa, but the pineapple, all of it together is just
the cooked
perfect.
onions in there.
Y'all should try this one. Very easy, very good. You tell them bye-bye? You gonna tell them?
And thank you again to Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video. Y'all go check out their website. They have all kinds of home items, but I highly recommend the Super Plush towels. And if you use the code mandyinthemaking at checkout, you're gonna get $20 off of your order of $100 or more. See y'all next week. Bye.